how do we define the p-adic numbers formally in mathematics in number theory? We construct the p-adic numbers imitating the construction of the real numbers via Cauchy sequences. So remember that we start from the integers. From the integers we build the rational numbers as fractions of integers with the usual identification of fractions, and then we fill in the holes that are in the rational numbers, where these holes are the limits of sequences of rational numbers that should converge to something, but they converge to a number that is not in the rational numbers. So we do that formally via Cauchy sequences. We say that the real numbers is the set of all Cauchy sequences, defined like this, modulo the equivalence of Cauchy sequences, that they are the same if the limit is 0. So how do we modify this to build the p-adics? The key is, what did we mean by two rational numbers being close together with respect to this absolute value, which was used here and it was used here? Of course, here we mean the Euclidean absolute value, or the Euclidean distance, which means that numbers, for example, 3, 3.1, 3.14, 3.141, consecutive numbers in this sequence, defined appropriately, are getting closer and closer together. And the limit of that sequence with respect to the Euclidean distance will be pi in the real numbers. However, we can define other notions of distance between rational numbers. For example, we can say that, in fact, the number 1 plus 3, 1 plus 3 plus 3 squared plus 3 cubed, that those numbers, consecutive numbers in this sequence, are getting closer and closer together with respect to a different distance, which will tell me that actually this sequence is convergent to this number as a three-adic number. What is that distance? The distance, the p-adic distance, is defined as follows. Two rational numbers are, the distance between two rational numbers is p to the minus k if t minus s is p to the k times another rational number that has no p in the numerator or denominator. So, for example, 1 and 1 plus 3, the distance is 1 over 3. The distance between these two will be 1 over 9. The distance between these two is 1 over 27, so they are getting closer and closer together. So now we can do what we did before. We start from the integers, we construct the rational numbers, and then we fill in holes in the rational numbers, but we fill in p-adic holes. So now we define the p-adics as the set of Cauchy sequences with respect to the p-adic absolute value, so Cauchy sequences of numbers in Q, with the identification that two Cauchy sequences are the same if the p-adic value of their difference goes to 0. And then this will be an analog of the real numbers, which is a different completion of the rational numbers, which we call QP.